Let's talk about the next part of CI, add automated testing to our process. Now, as with application code, we want to run unit tests against our code, and maybe other tests as well, but we want to make sure that we are testing our code, that it meets requirements, it's not functioning with errors or other issues depending on our data. Now, the idea here with automating these tests is that we want to ensure that they're always run against the code checked in our system. We may run them against every commit, we may run against some commits, but we want to avoid the developer having to run all these tests or that we have to trust the developer. It's too easy for developers to forget to run the tests. They have other pressures involved with them. Let's let the system run tests for them. The other idea with using tests in the CI process is that we want to fail fast when there's an issue. We want to let developers know as quickly as possible before they've moved on, before they've started thinking about something else. We want to tell them if there's a problem. Now, how we choose to do this is up to us, but we certainly want to implement some sort of feedback mechanism and some sort of testing in our system. There are definitely a few kinds of tests we can run against our databases. We may want to stage these differently, run them in serial or parallel, depending on our process, to give the developer quick feedback. As a general rule of thumb, we want to let them know within 10 or 15 minutes. The various types of testing we'll look at, but not limit ourselves to, will include static code analysis and standards testing, unit testing, functional testing, performance testing, security testing. We'll talk about each of these in more detail in another module, but for now understand that all of these perform sometime in our software development pipeline. Some of these we'll do in CI, some we may do later. But in general, we want to make sure that whatever tests we run, they run quickly and they fail to build quickly if there are any issues. And then we let the developer know what the problems are. Testing needs a database of some sort, and that means we usually need test data as well. So as part of our build process, we may have to ensure we put test data into the system. We may actually have to have a separate build that isn't executed every commit, but executes at discrete or scheduled times when we find other builds have passed or other tests have passed, because it takes a long time to load that test data. We may want to wait to do performance testing until near the end when we have to load a lot of test data, a whole production's worth of test data. In those cases, we typically use the end of our CI process to start another build process that performs more intensive additional testing, such as performance or load testing. For now, let's stop here with unit testing, and we'll see how we can actually perform unit testing in a demo.